Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom Worth Jr. and we're heading into Thanksgiving week. Pretty awesome. Looking forward to a few days off. Got some family in town. Looking at artificial intelligence and Tom Friedman and the Middle East and Trump's picks. We had Nikki Haley coming out basically calling Tulsi Gabbard a Russian asset. Not in so many words, but we know where she was heading with that. And we know that there's so much bad blood between Nikki and Don, and that's pretty great. She was at the UN, appointed by him back in his first term, so she knows how these international relations go, and she knows all about Tulsi Gabbard. Back then, Tulsi Gabbard was supposedly a Democrat from Hawaii, but really what she was someone who just does Putin's bidding for him, in my estimation, and also Assad in Syria before that. She's terrible, and that's who Trump intentionally put at the head of all of our national intelligence apparatus. And a question I raised very early on when he announced that was that was probably the scariest appointment by him. You know, the Gates thing was just a shocker. I didn't think that would actually go through. And then the Secretary of Defense, I didn't really know anything about that guy other than he seemed wholly unqualified, but he didn't seem like an actual threat to our national security like she does. And now I'm not so sure even he makes it through with what's come out about him. That's just kind of not going away. What we have with her is someone who, and again, I pointed this out when he made the pick, it's not just that she's incompetent, and it's not just that, you know, our people, all of our entire national intelligence organization would be wary of sending anything up through her, but it's our allies, and they would not share anything with her at the top of it, I don't think. I mean, they have to share something. They're probably not able to just come out and say what they're not going to share and what they are going to share, but they're not going to trust her, and they're not going to trust us with her in charge. Her and Trump certainly, but her in particular. And I don't see any plausible resistance against her that would keep her from actually being confirmed. We're not hearing the outcry from the Republicans about her. We're not getting the pushback that we did with Gates. So I think she is going to be it. And that is a real problem for the next 4 years. But that might pale in comparison to kind of larger issues. I'm sure some of you are familiar with Tom Friedman from the New York Times. He's been around for decades. Middle East correspondent is how he started out. And he's still there. I guess he's in with Google DeepMind somehow. They're probably, I don't know, I'm sure they're paying him to help him out or talk to their team or something. But I saw a series of videos, and he was in some of them, and so are some other ones, talking about their AI stuff. And to him, yes, these are very concerning, Trump's picks. But to him, the biggest issues are AI and global warming. And we know that Trump is woefully unprepared to tackle either of those. We know that with global warming, he's just an outright denier of it. So he's not going to do anything there. He's already got his head of the EPA that's going to make global warming worse. These are existential threats to humanity, possibly. Certainly with global warming, but with AI, and everyone says AI could go good or it could go bad, but it is a genie out of the bottle type situation. And how Trump It's just where has this been in this whole election cycle? Like how they're going to deal with AI. In Tom Friedman's opinion, and a lot of people share this, this is a defining moment in our history. We've had the Industrial Revolution. We had the kind of the discovery of agriculture, and we've got AI now. AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. That is the thing that, by most accounts, is 2 to 5 years out. By Sam Altman at OpenAI, he thinks maybe next year, as soon as next year. But whenever it happens, it seems like it's going to be during Donald Trump's term here. And whatever nonsense, chicanery, tomfoolery he has going on with his corruption and with his, fraud and kleptocracy and all of these things. If we have no guardrails on this AGI and we don't, and Trump his people are not thinking about this. His Stephen Millers, his Steve Bannons, they're not thinking about AI. They're thinking about how can we steal the most money? How can we keep Vladimir Putin happy so he doesn't spill the beans on what he has on Trump? They're thinking so small. And someone like Tom Friedman, who is quite concerned about Trump and quite concerned now that he's seen who some of his appointments are, that just pales in comparison to his concerns about how we are going to harness artificial intelligence and what we're going to do about global warming. So we did have some good news on the global warming front with $300 billion in aid committed to lesser developed countries that would be impacted by the rising sea levels and all that would entail. So that was good. If Trump was in charge here, we wouldn't even be partaking in these discussions. So at least that was happening now before he takes office. Now, these are existential threats. And yes, Vladimir Putin in Ukraine, with his nuclear saber rattling again, that's also an existential threat. Sadly, those three things, Putin's nuclear capabilities and threats, and AI, AGI, and global warming, it can all kind of, the confluence of these three things during Trump's next 4 years. It's kind of mind-boggling. It's kind of staggering. And really, it had the effect when I was reading more about this and watching more about it over the last few days of making me kind of not even care about the nonsense of Pam Bondi or weaponizing the Department of Justice to go after Joe and Mika or CNN. I don't even, who cares, right? Who cares about that? But that was my knee-jerk reaction. But of course, we have to care. We have to have a free press. And I'm not saying we have to watch CNN and MSNBC, far from it. I still stick to the stance that we have to be getting our sources, our news from sources other than that, quote, mainstream media, which isn't investigative journalism at all. It's just corporate TV trying to sell ads and get ratings. It's not very informative. There are a few people who are, but for the most part, you've got to find your own sources. But it does make you think, all right, we've just got such bigger things to worry about than Trump's ridiculous score settling. So yeah, we do need the free press. We do need journalists to be able to do what journalists do. I think if they're reporting on Trump all the time, it does us a disservice because there are bigger things to report on than Trump. And it's not going to matter anyway. What are they going to uncover that they haven't already uncovered? Oh my gosh, the person he's appointing to the head of our entire national security apparatus has posted pro-Putin Kremlin propaganda before. We already know this. And it doesn't matter. He does it anyway. His people are going to confirm her anyway. So I have to question what to what end. This is why they didn't want to impeach him the first time around and the second time around, because they knew that it wouldn't matter. And it would maybe, in fact, make him stronger, that martyr effect, which it did. It doesn't matter what we know and what we find out and what comes out. His people don't care. And the rest of us that do, it doesn't matter. We lost, and it wasn't enough. So maybe focus on things that matter in addition to all of his cronyism and all of his criming. I guess there's a lot more to pay attention to. So I think we can keep an eye on how he's responding to this. Someone like Elon Musk at least would be aware of these issues. Some of the appointments that he is taking more seriously seem to be like the Commerce Secretary, for instance, and that there's one. So yeah, it's a typical Wall Streeter that Wall Street was behind, and that may be discouraging to you, but that's very encouraging to me. That I'd rather have those people have some being in charge of something than Trump being in charge of everything. So I like that Elon Musk lost that battle. That's good. I think a lot of us thought he would. We all see this battle of egos shaping up between Trump and Musk. So it's good to see that taking shape. And hopefully by the time the inauguration comes around, they will have already had their falling out, or a big blow up, or a quiet parting of ways. I'm hopeful that can happen pretty quickly. I think it will. Yeah. So larger worries here as we head into Thanksgiving week than just whatever nonsense Donald Trump is looking at today. And I don't know, it's kind of nice to have the distraction. On the other hand, worrying about civilization itself is not so fun. So that's it. That's it for today, I guess. Let's talk again tomorrow. I did take the day off yesterday. That was nice. The son and girlfriend back in from LA, so got to spend the day over in Dallas with my daughter and them and my wife, and it was just nice to kind of unplug and have a nice day in the sun over there. Spent a lot of it outside, getting around, taking the dog out. It's a good day, and I hope everyone else had a good day yesterday, and we'll talk later.